Peroxide's next big update is going to be something that we are not expecting. And that's usually how updates go because they post stuff inside sneak peeks. But essentially what I'm going to be covering inside this video is actually going to be what the developers showed us for what's it's starting to look like is going to be the next update. And then I'm also going to be showcasing my own idea of what I personally think should be added to the game or should be one of the updates that's also coming. So if you actually come over to the Peroxide Discord server and you look inside the sneak peeks channel, we have 4 sneaks actually shown to us from Mr. Peroxide himself. And the first sneak right here says destroy Soul Society. Now this was actually posted 5 days ago, and if you look at the image, it's essentially a gate heading towards Soul Society, and it kind of looks like it's inside the clouds. Now I'm also going to put inside my little speculation here, and this is kind of going to be like a slight spoiler. Actually, it's not even a slight spoiler. This is going to be a medium tier spoiler for the 1000 Year Blood War arc in Bleach, specifically some of the manga content. The episode that's going to be covering this stuff is literally going to be coming out next week at the time of me recording this video, but just in case you don't want to be spoiled, skip ahead for like the next 20 to 30 seconds. And to actually meet that time limit, this could essentially be you raiding the Soul King's palace. Now it's obviously not going to be that, but the fact that it kind of looks like you're up inside the clouds and there's mountains and pillars raised, I feel like it would be a very good thing to drop, considering the fact that the episode for that is actually going to be coming out very soon inside the anime. Yuhaba is actually going to be raiding this palace very soon with a whole lot of other Quincy's, and seeing this inside the clouds too could be a cool little sign. So just in case you skip forward, pretty much this could be a really cool raid item or raid idea that I feel like would be very good to have inside the game, and it could be used as like another incentive to get players to actually play the raid modes or play the game more, and we can possibly start seeing new drops pop up too, like drops specifically from that mode, so it's better if you do play it. Next sneak peek that we actually have is going to be another one, which is it's time to raid Las Noches. Now this one won't have any spoiler from the manga because I don't even read the manga myself, I just happen to see it around. But this is actually going to be a raid for, I'm assuming, Soul Reapers, where you're raiding Las Noches, and maybe Quincy's with possibly Arancars that could defend it. But in general, it's just a really dark environment with the castle and closed doors with the Las Noches symbol, which makes sense because it's a raid on Las Noches. So if you're starting to get the gist of this, it seems like the whole entire idea or concept that developers are going for is just going to be raids. Especially from this sneak peek right here coming from the Cursed Spud, where you would very brutally stab somebody in their back for 1000 damage, then proceed to break down the door that they were possibly guarding right there. So this is obviously going to be some entrance to probably the Soul Society raid, but that's just a guess for me. And the last sneak that we have right here is actually going to be an invasion complete symbol, where it's essentially just telling you everything that you got from the invasion that you completed. And as you can see, they have stuff like War Lover, like a Shadow one-man army. Coming off of all of that, you can probably start to get the idea that this update is going to be focusing on invasions and expanding off of what I said earlier for like the spoiler content. I'm not going to like fully go over it, but if they do go with that idea I said earlier, it would honestly just be very, very cool. Like, imagine if you're on a team of Soul Reaper defenders where you have to specifically defend that specific person, and then if you defend that person, it increases chances for like a godly drop, and they can actually start adding in new godly items or give another incentive to Hogyoku fragments, because right now with the time remnant, the only thing that you really want to get from it is probably just going to be the Hogyoku fragments. Getting product essences are not hard. I'm pretty sure I'm sitting on like 100 and I don't even have a reason to reroll because there isn't that much items or stuff to reroll for inside the game once you actually complete it. So it's like the next best thing for you to do would actually be to make an alt account or just another slot. And I feel like this update, we're probably going to see some new type of items getting added towards this. The Peroxide developers are probably like some of the best set of developers. They listen to the community, constantly add new content, and they just stay on top of their work. But enough of that little support or glazing, as some people would call it, towards them. Yeah, now we're going to move into what I personally feel like should be an update. Now if you look at the Peroxide Trello, right, and it doesn't matter if you're Quincy, if you're an Arankar, or if you're the best race, it doesn't matter at all. If you look at everything, Soul Reapers have Bankai, Arankars have Segunda, and Quincy's have Volt Standing, right? Now, just going off of this, you're like, oh, alright, every single race has their endgame forms. But have you ever thought to yourself, what goes beyond that, right? Now think about this. This is where I feel like the Peroxide developers get the opportunity to just jump into a whole different field where they create stuff exclusively to them. Now, most of the stuff inside the game is already exclusive to Peroxide, and there isn't many stuff that's like taken strictly from Bleach. This is mostly their own original work. But imagine if you have something like Beyond Bankai, right? Now, I know that is cringy and corny as hell, because as I was saying it, I was like, that is cringy and corny as hell. But just imagine it, right? Let's say you got Volt Standing Maximo, right? You got Segunda Supreme, you got, and then you have Super Bankai. And I know that it just sounds like serverless names, but just imagine, right? You have your final form, and they can make this super hard to achieve, right? Like I don't even want it to be remotely easy. I want it to be like the same amount of percentage as it is to get a Hogyoku fragment, like 0.6. The chance for you to achieve it is by defending, let's just say, like a supreme being and being within his general area for like an estimated amount of time, and you just have a chance to get it within like every single minute. Now, this obviously is just me throwing out a random idea, but I feel like these supreme modes could just be a mode on top of your mode, where you're able to be inside of them for about, let's say, 20 seconds, but within those 20 seconds you get one of like the most brain dead, unbalanced things introduced to Roblox itself. Like, imagine if you're Gojo Satoru, right, and you're about to use Hollow Purple, and everybody else is just any other sorcerer inside the JJK realm. Like, now, obviously there would be some type of balancing to it, but I feel like, right, I feel like it should be that OP if it is going to be that rare. Because really think about the chance to actually wake up and get something 0.6%. And I know that most people actually don't like drop rates that are just pretty much abysmal or unachievable, but I feel like this should just be like a cherry on top. Like something that if you get it, you get it. And if you don't get it, you can still compete with them because it's just going to be very, very rare. And the chances of you fighting somebody who has it is going to be very, very rare. But honestly, this is just my idea and my speculation. So I do want to hear what you think they could also add to the updates besides like a new form of invasions or like a new type of raid. Because I really do like this game. I don't like the combat that much because I'm a strength build, and most of the footage that you're probably going to be seeing in this video is me using said strength build in PvP and getting clapped. But speaking of that, I also want to advertise my next video. I'm going to be exposing the huge Peroxide YouTuber secrets that are being held around inside the YouTube chat. So if you want to see that, the title is going to be like Peroxide YouTubers are lying to you. Yeah, so if you want to see that, then pull your pants up and get ready for the next video, and subscribe and like, because it's the YouTuber e-begging thing to say. Yeah, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you did enjoy. And comment your ideas for the updates, because I do actually read the comments.